Hi, I'm Kana. I'm a paralegal at the firm. What's your name?
I'm Alex Barnett. Nice to meet you.
You too. So I understand that you've been charged with the possession, selling, and conspiring to sell meth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so what ended up happening was, it was a couple nights ago, February 1st actually. I was sitting in the apartment that I and Jane's we share. She's my roommate. We've been roommates for a while. And I was sitting there, and around 11:30 that night, I hear a knock on the door. So I go and answer it, and out there's 4 cops just waiting. There's three men and a female officer there, and they ask if they can come in, and they have their guns drawn. I'm like, doesn't seem like I have a choice, so I mean, come right on in. So they enter, they put their guns away, and they ask if I knew anything about if selling meth, and they asked if I knew anything about selling it or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I asked them, am I under arrest right now, because I wasn't in cuffs at all, and they said not at this time.
Okay.
And so they began searching the apartment, and I asked them if they were in fact searching for meth, and they said, yeah, like, we don't know, but that's what we're searching for. And so I was getting pretty nervous at this time, because I had known that Jane had been kind of up to some sneaky stuff. I figured, but I didn't know entirely for sure that that's what she was doing. And so I was getting kind of nervous, and I asked if I could go to the bathroom. One of the male officers accompanied me, and from what I could tell, he was just making sure that I didn't flush anything down the toilet, or just to ensure that I wasn't tampering with anything. And so he came out, and he asked, well, and at that point I couldn't take it anymore. And I broke down, and I kept repeating, I'm so sorry, and I was crying. It wasn't my best moment, but so after that, they put me, they were there for about an hour, and after that they took me back to the St. Paul Police Department probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was arrested, and eventually my parents released me on bond.
Okay. All right. Did the cops have a warrant when they came in?
Yeah, they did. They presented that right when at the door.
Cool. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about your background, and then we can get more into the event. So how old are you now?
I'm a junior, so I'm 21 years old, junior at Hamlin University. I was from Wisconsin,
Okay.
Just outside Milwaukee, actually, and the city is New Berlin.
And what do you study at Hamlin?
I'm an economics major.
Do you have any siblings?
I do have one older brother.
Has your family ever been involved in narcotics at all?
Not that I know of my family, but in high school I did do a lot of marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever get in trouble with any of that?
Yeah, I was at a party once, and I got caught, and so my parents had me undergo an evaluation for chemical dependency, and I underwent treatment for that. But since then I've been off drugs, I've been off alcohol.
Okay. So no drinking or smoking or anything?
No drugs.
Okay. So are you a full-time student at Hamlin? Are you part-time?
I'm a full-time student, 16 credits a semester.
And do you work?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't work.
Okay. What kind of stuff are you involved in on campus?
I'm on the SOS, and also I'm a member of the Sexual Violence Prevention Task Force on campus.
Okay. How often do you have class? Like, what's your schedule like?
I do have class in the mornings usually. Sometimes I have a night class here and there, every once a week. But for the most part, it's just morning, early afternoon classes.
So how often are you on campus as opposed to back in your apartment?
I would say that I'm on campus for classes, and sometimes in between classes I'll go back to the apartment and to grab lunch or grab a book that I forgot. But I'd say that for classes I'm on campus.
Is Jane usually there when you're back at the apartment?
Yeah, she's there sometimes. Sometimes she's out, but she has friends over a lot.
Okay.
They'll go into her room and they'll lock the door,
Oh.
and I'm not entirely sure what's going on in there, but I had my suspicions.
So can you tell me about your apartment? Like, where is it exactly?
All right, so it's right on the corner of Snelling, or not right on the corner, but on this corner of Snelling and Minnehaha, there's this restaurant called Ginkgo's, and it's just it's right behind that. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's, it's about, maybe like 800 square feet-ish.
Okay.
And I have a small bedroom, like 10 by 15 kind of size, and we each have that same size bedroom.
Okay. And then is it just the 1 bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and each of our doors has a lock on them too, so I wasn't able to go in and see anything that Jane had.
Okay.
But she did have, she's got a lot of stuff in the apartment. She's got a big flat screen TV. She's got these fancy iPods and all sorts of technology it doesn't seem like she would have that much money coming in. So I just kind of assumed for a while that it was her parents who had been giving her the money and giving her all this fancy technology.
Did you ever find out where exactly she got this? You said you thought that for a while it was her parents. What do you think now?
Well, I kind of got the idea that she was selling drugs to get them, and eventually I asked her about it, and she said, she said that she did it a little bit, and she said that she made a lot of money off of it. So I thought, maybe I could get in on that. I didn't want to actually sell anything or get in trouble for that.
Mm-hmm.
So she said I could help with getting rides. So I could help her drive her around.
How often did you do that?
It was occasionally I would help her. Well, there was this one time we went to Home Depot, and I drove her there, and she went inside, and she met one of her friends. I'm pretty sure his name was Steve, but they went inside and they picked up some bags of stuff. I'm not sure, put it in the trunk.
Okay. So you didn't go inside with them?
I was just there to drive.
All right. Did she ever compensate you for doing that?
Not that I can remember. No, she hasn't gotten anything. I haven't seen any of that money yet.
Okay. So what is your relationship with Jane like? Like, how did you guys meet? How do you guys interact?
Well, we were friends we had a class together my sophomore year, and we were partners in a group together, and so we both got to talking. We turned out we both needed an apartment, so we decided it'd probably be good if we could just both go in on this. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a little crush on her. She's so we haven't actually done anything with it. She doesn't seem to be wanting anything back from me, but I guess really not anymore. But we never really talked too much. She stayed with her group of friends. I stayed with my group of friends for the most part.
So when the police were at your apartment, did they all come in? You said they put their guns down when they came into the premise?
Yeah, they had them drawn initially when they knocked on the door and presented the warrant, but when they walked in, they put the guns away, and I asked if I was under arrest, and they said, not at this time.
Not at this time. Okay. Let's see. So what did they do when they came in? Did they search your place first, or her room, or the general spaces?
They searched the general space, they searched my room. I know they eventually did search her place, and they found evidence of her selling meth.
Okay.
They did confiscate some of my notebooks, a diary, my agenda that I had, a computer that I had. They took that when they were there.
Did you have anything in there about, your involvement with Jane's activities?
I had on my phone some texts where I asked her, like, do you need me to drive you today, kind of thing, but I made sure to never explicitly say what we were doing.
And you said they were there for about an hour?
Yeah, and then they took me away back to the police department. And then eventually my parents released me on
Are you still at Hamlin now then?
No, because of that, they found out my parents were not too happy. And because they were providing so much support for me to help me get through, I had to withdraw.
Do you have anything else that you think is important for me to know?
I mean, I want to know what happens next. That's my. I've never had this before. I mean, I did have the marijuana in high school, but this is, I'm being charged with the sale and helping sell meth. And so I was just wondering, like, what's going to happen?
So when the police were there, did you talk to them when they were searching your room, when you were in the bathroom?
I didn't talk too much, but when I was in the bathroom, the male officer followed me in there to make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong. He did ask if I knew anything, and it was so stressful, I couldn't take it, and so I started saying, I'm sorry, and I was crying, and I admitted that, I knew she was making and selling meth, and I gave the officer all that information, but I was definitely distraught about that.
Okay. All right, and then shortly after that is when they arrested you?
Yeah, I came back out, and they seemed to have everything collected, all of my stuff. They made it to Jane's room, took me back to the department.